Financial Credit Union is located at 300 North Beeline Highway, inside Walmart, and their number is 602-433-7000.
And we'd like to thank Desert Financial Credit Union for sponsoring our KRIM Community Spotlight program. Good morning, Rim Country. Chris Higgins in the studio, and hope you're having a happy Monday. That's right, it is Monday, but it's a beautiful day out there. Nice sunny day. Supposed to be, temperature-wise, around 50, 51 degrees today. So, talk about beautiful weather. We are spoiled here in Rim Country. Well, hey, on this morning's program, we're going to be talking about a wonderful program that has been brought up here to Payson, to the Rim Country, for our veterans, and that is Patterns of Grace. And here to talk about this this program, or what this is all about, are Kim Chittick and Connie Little. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Hey, thank you for coming in this morning to talk about this quilting group, a women's quilting group, and what you do for veterans. All, I would imagine, well, in the valley, up here in Rim Country, and possibly other places, or is that mainly it?
Yes, our group has been around for a little over 20 years now,
Mm-hmm.
and each year we try to find a charity that would use our quilts.
Mm-hmm.
And but we do things for foster kids, or
Okay.
for the homeless, or Save the Family, Child Crisis. But we always have a special place in our heart for the veterans. So even though we're doing another charity, we always try to do something for our veterans. And last year I called Kim and said we wanted to present some veterans quilts when we were up here. We will be up here next weekend for a retreat. And we wanted to present some veterans quilts. How can I go about it? And she's the one that got me in touch with you and the Legion, and it kind of went from there. And it was kind of a hurried up thing, but it was very well received. The veterans were extremely gracious and grateful, and enough that we said, we want to do this again, we want to come back.
Well, that is one thing I know that I've experienced, is you want to do something up here, tell Kim and say, hey, this is an idea, or this is what we want to do. Do you want to help out, or what do you think about this? Can you be a part of it? You want to be a part of it? And she will jump in, and it will get done.
Always.
Yeah, so, yeah, oh yes. So that is great. And how did you know Connie, or how did you connect?
Oh my gosh, I have known Connie for almost 30 years. She and her husband were my husband's best friends before I met him.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I met him, they told him, you have to keep her, because if not, we're going to keep her and move you. So Connie is amazing. Her husband used to fly with my husband.
Okay.
And Connie there's nothing Connie can't do.
Mm-hmm.
From quilting to cake making, she made my wedding cake.
Wow.
She coordinated my wedding, which was amazing. So that's how I know Connie, and she's now one of my best friends.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not my best friend, she's family.
Mm-hmm.
She's the sister of my heart, so.
There you go. So this event, this year's event, and it's with American Legion, Post 69, and that's where the event will be, is Saturday, February 17th at 1 p.m. And the American Legion Post 69 is right there on Highway 260, East Highway 260. You can't miss it. The flag's in front of it. There's the fish fry every Friday. And this is open to veterans. Veterans, any veteran in Rim Country that would like to receive a quilt from the ladies with Patterns of Grace. Is that correct?
That is correct. And we will also be having a potluck.
Okay.
They've decided we're going to do it as a holiday theme, so we'll have a couple of turkeys and ham and all of the big things. Dressing and mashed potatoes and pies and cake and.
Wow, so this is kicking it up a few notches from last year.
Well, unfortunately I was out of town last year. I had a pre-planned engagement out of town, so I was not able to be there. But I tried to make it happen, And this time I decided, okay, I didn't make any plans for this weekend, and I said, I'm gonna be there, and I'm gonna make it big.
Mm-hmm.
She'll make it happen.
There you go. So that is this Saturday. Now, would you want veterans that are planning to be there that would like to get a quilt, should they contact you or contact somebody or just show up?
Well, they're free to contact me.
Okay.
Can I give my number?
Yes, you sure can.
My phone number is 928-978-5245. They can call me and I'll put them on the list to make sure that they're on the list. That one, the ladies are bringing 50 quilts.
Wow, okay.
50. There was only 27 women, but they're bringing 50 quilts.
Mm.
And so I'll get them on the list. All we ask is that anybody who bought a quilt last year not get on the list for one this year, as we want to make sure as many people as possible are recipients of their generosity.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that is great. And how many quilts last year got handed out?
We did 31 last year.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of interesting because one of the quilters that presented a quilt, and this was not planned, she is a dental hygienist in the Valley and ended up being a customer of hers that she had for 20 years, and she hadn't seen him because he had moved up here until she went to present him the quilt.
Wow.
So that was a pretty exciting thing that happened, and it was a very moving experience for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
The tears were definitely flowing,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just in our heart, and we love doing it. The quilts are absolutely gorgeous. They're all red, white, and blue,
Mhm.
different patterns, different sizes. We have some for people that are in wheelchairs that can't have a big one. We have bigger ones that are going on the beds. Myself and 2 other people in our group have the ability to do the quilting on a long arm machine, so we quilt them for free, and all of the materials and everything is all just from our members. That we don't have a fundraiser or any way to get money. It just all comes from the heart.
Wow, that is. I know it was very cool last year. I know I was presented a blanket or quilt. I'm sorry, and it was Air Force, like an Air Force pattern. And I saw there were some Army patterns, I believe Marine patterns, Navy. Along with a lot of stars and stripes, flags. I mean, they were just beautiful, all the different quilts. So, yeah, and the patterns of grace, you said it's been 30 years?
No, it's been about 24, I
24.
think. Yeah.
Okay, and how did it get started? And as far as continuing, or how much has it grown, if you can just share?
It was, it's affiliated with Central Christian Church in Mesa, and it was some ladies that liked to quilt and wanted to start a group. It started off, I think, with maybe 4 or 5. We presently have about 40 members. We have about 25 that come on a regular basis. Some of our members are winter visitors, and they're not in the Valley all the time. But yeah, we meet once a month at the church, and we sew all day long. And then twice a year we go on a retreat, once to Payson and once to Prescott. And we all love to sew, and we just fellowship and trade ideas and patterns. And I don't think there's one person in the group that hasn't made a quilt for a veteran somewhere along the line. One of our ladies that belongs to our group, she carries veterans quilts in her car, and she will literally stop someone on the street and give a veteran a quilt. So she's all excited.
Wow, I bet. And it is, and last year was the first year that you presented quilts to veterans here in Payson,
Yes.
at the Legion. And I have to ask, I know you said that you're just looking for different nonprofits, different groups that you could present quilts to. Is it through Kim, your friendship with Kim, that you got connected to Post 69?
Yes, it is.
Post 69? Okay, yeah, that's just, that's a great thing to be doing with the quilts.
Well, I agree. And when she initially called me And she told me about a lady in their group that would give she'd see random veterans on the street and give them a blanket. They had said, well, they thought about just standing outside of our Walmart and approaching people that looked like they might have been veterans. And I said, no, there's a better way to make that happen.
Yeah.
We knew it through the Legion, and so that's how that came about. It's like, you know, I could just see this group of church ladies standing outside Walmart accosting people, asking if they were veterans and handing them blankets. So.
Excuse me, are you a veteran? Yes. Why? Why do you ask? No, and I think that would actually work in our community. You could do that. I mean, we're a very friendly community, so it would work. But going through the American Legion, I think that is a much better way to do it.
Yeah, I agree.
No, that's good. So again, Patterns of Grace is a women's quilting group with Central Christian Church out of Mesa, and they'll be presenting handmade Americana quilts to veterans of Rim Country. That's this Saturday, February 17th, at 1 p.m. at American Legion, Post 69, and that's 709 Arizona AZ 260. 709 AZ 260. Right there off of 260 if you're heading east towards Heber and Sholo. There'll also be a potluck. So you can bring a dish if you'd like to bring a dish. Is that correct? Yeah, to share. So that will be happening at the same time. So again, if you're just tuning in, talking with Connie Little and Kim Chittick. Connie's with Patterns of Grace down in Mesa, and they'll be bringing quilts up for veterans. So again, veterans do not have to call you, contact you. You can, if you're a veteran, you can just show up, and it'll be this will take place in the back of the Legion. If you've never been to Post 69, there's the front area that's closest to Highway 260, and that's the bar area. And then in the back of the building is a hall, would you say? You know, like a dining hall, right, or an area, open area where the potluck will be and quilts will be presented back there.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, this is, again, it's just such a great thing, a great event, a great thing to do for our veterans, to show appreciation and just to show kindness, an act of kindness. And like you said, there were a few veterans last year that were very moved and very touched, yes, by receiving a quilt.
We've done it for the Veterans Hospital in Phoenix as well. But because we come up here to our retreat every year, and we know that there's a lot of veterans up here, that's why I contacted Kim and said, let's do something in Payson.
And approximately how many ladies come up for the retreat?
This year there will be 27.
27, wow. And how many are in the group Patterns of Grace?
About 40.
About 40, wow. That's a lot of quilts then that can be made, isn't it?
Yes. Like I said, we have 2 or 3 other charities that we make for. We do a lot for the cancer, Ironwood Cancer Center. We do a lot for foster kids and other organizations. Plus, the Axe Ministry at Central is a homeless ministry, and we do a lot for them as well.
Now, are you looking for other nonprofits or other organizations to?
We're always looking for organizations, and I would like to say one other thing too. Everything that we use, all of the material and the batting and everything that we use is purchased by our members, or it's donated. At some of the, in the valley, sometimes if a spouse happens to pass away, and the children don't know what to do with the fabric, and their mother was a quilter, and they're just boxes and boxes of fabric, because unfortunately that's what we do. They will donate it to the church, and then we use all of those materials to make a lot of the stuff that we donate, besides purchasing from our own.
Wow, that's great to know. So if you're listening or watching us on our KRIM radio Facebook page, and you have a parent, a grandparent, somebody that recently passed or is no longer quilting, has material, thread, equipment, just any of it, then this is a great place to donate all of that material. Again, that's Central Christian Church, and would they just call the church and ask for you, Connie, or?
No, not necessarily. They could call the church, and
Okay.
Our leader's name is Laura Dolls, D-O-L-S, and Don Londorf, and they could call there, and one of them would get it to us.
Okay.
And I would like to also mention that Central also has another group called Joyful Stitchers, and that's a knitting and crocheting group, and we do the same thing. In November, I delivered 73 handmade Afghans, crocheted and knitted, to the VA hospital.
Wow.
So we do a lot of stuff for our veterans and other organizations as well, but the veterans just have a special place in our heart. And I think part of the reason for that is our age group. We're in tune with that. Most of our families were veterans, and and so we just enjoy doing stuff for the people that served our country.
Joyful Stitchers, that's a great name too.
And they've been around that long as well. I belong to both of them, so.
Yeah, wow. That's, yeah, it's great to see people volunteering their time, giving of their time, their talents to events like this, or to efforts like this, where you're just making something, giving something to somebody you don't know, but you want to show them you appreciate them and everything they've done. So
They're very well received.
Oh yeah.
All of the veterans, like you said, are extremely moved, and many times they'll say, in fact, in Payson last year, one of the gentlemen that I gave a quilt to said, "I've never had anyone do anything like this for me."
Yeah, because you just don't know what people's situation is like with family,
Right.
with friends, if they don't have any family, or not many friends, they're more isolated, and to receive something from somebody, you can tell when there's a real true appreciation for that, when they're not getting anything from anybody else, or maybe just attention, affection, that we, those of us that have that, it's easy maybe to take it for granted.
Exactly.
Or to just think that, oh, this is how it is for everybody, with their family, with siblings, with children, grandchildren, having friends, calling you, texting you, reaching out to you, going to, go have a meal with them, going to their house for holidays. But when you don't have anyone, talk about sad, lonely.
It is, very much. I was telling Connie earlier that for the last month, since we've started setting this up, my husband and I go to the Legion every Friday night for their fish fry. It's fantastic. And I see veterans, and I have cards printed up that I'm giving them to tell them about the event and about the potluck. And last week, there's one man that I've been seeing for several years now, and he's there alone. He looks lonely, and I always try to greet him, but just there was not the visiting aspect. But so last week I approached him and handed him a card, and we chatted, and he was overjoyed to hear about this program. And then when I told him about the meal, and he wanted to know how much the meal was going to cost, and I made it clear that there is no cost, that veterans have paid the cost with their service. And he said, yes, but my service was a long, long, long time ago. I said, your payment is for life, sweetie. And he was so pleased and so excited that he was not only going to get a meal, but a beautiful blanket, that someone cared enough about him to give him a handmade blanket.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been getting that reaction a lot from people when I invite them and I give them the cards. The veterans are really excited
Mm-hmm.
and looking forward to the event. So I'm looking forward to it. As Connie, I'm very envious of Connie. As she said, she belongs to Joyful Stitchers and Patterns of Grace. I'm sure there's a million other groups that she belongs to that I don't know the name, but there's nothing Connie can't do.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, she made my wedding cake. She owned a florist. She quilts, she stitches, she crochets and knits and paints.
Mm.
So,
Wow.
yeah, Connie, there is nothing creative that Connie cannot do.
That's not true. Calligraphy.
Oh my gosh.
That's a family joke.
That's a family.
Okay.
When someone says there's something you can do, I say calligraphy.
Okay. Well, I won't ask you to write my,
No.
Yeah. No. So painting as well. You,
Oh, I dabble in that. I haven't for a while.
yeah.
She doesn't dabble, she's amazing. I've seen some of her paintings.
I keep busy.
Yeah. Oh, that's yeah. It sounds well.
I do a lot of things with my church as well,
Mhm.
and so it keeps me busy.
Mhm. Well, there's no shortage of activities or things that you can do. I know in the valley, goodness, I'd imagine, you know, different organizations, whether it's a church group or different groups that you can join to participate in. Up here, though, it also is similar. I mean, with all the different groups, when you were mentioning the different things that you participate or in, and I thought of Rim Country artists, you know, with the painting and just
Right.
how many people have been joining that group. People that have been here for a while or that have recently moved here, and that group just growing because they're looking at all different types of artists and artwork, where mainly, I guess, before it was like painting, ceramics, you know, pottery, but now, oh my goodness, they're getting so many different people, photography and, drama.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's good. Again, this Saturday, if you are a veteran, then you need to come out to the American Legion, Payson Post 69, that's located at 709 AZ 260, just off of 260, I guess almost right across from the Chevron there, right? On
Mhm.
260, heading towards Heber or Sholo. And the ladies from Patterns of Grace, a women's quilting group with Central Christian Church in Mesa, they'll be presenting handmade Americana quilts to veterans of Rim Country. And there'll also be a potluck that day. So, boy, come out and get some food. And you were describing turkey, ham, all the fixings to go
Yeah.
with that. So, quite the meal being put on, and it's free. Everything is
All
free.
free.
It is all free. So, would love to see you out there. Again, that starts at 1 p.m. This Saturday. And you don't have to contact anyone, just show up. The one thing, though, that is being asked, if you did receive a quilt last year, then let others that didn't receive a quilt get a quilt this year. And you said you'll have approximately 50 quilts
Mhm.
to
Yes,
hand down? 50 quilts. So, yeah, and last year 31, there were like 30,
Yes.
30 people that turned up. So hoping for a great turnout this Saturday. And you want to give your number one more time if you're listening and you know a veteran and you want to give them this information or get more information to them. You can give Kim Chittick a call at
928-978-5245.
Hey, thank you so much. Anything else you would like to share or add?
I appreciate the fact that we can sit and talk to you and talk about the event. The ladies in our group are so excited. It's been fun making the quilts and talking about what we're doing, and everyone is just very excited for Saturday.
I know it is great. I know last year was a wonderful event, and I imagine this year is just going to be even better. So looking forward to it. Yeah.
As am I.
There you go. Well, thank you everyone for listening and watching today. Again, if you are a veteran or you know a veteran, then let them know or come out to the event this Saturday at 1 p.m. at the American Legion Post 69 for the Patterns of Grace, presenting quilts to veterans of Rim Country. Okay, well, time to get back to the music here on KRIM with some Rick James, Chicago, and more. But first, let's get a quick update from our National Weather Service. That's not working. All right, mics are off.
Okay.
See you guys.